Faced with the global pandemic, Sherman High School and the Independent School District have made some major changes to learning. The most notable of these changes is the implementation of hybrid and virtual learning. Now, it's important to note that all students did have the option to go virtual. Most did, in fact, choose hybrid. Now, what is hybrid learning? Hybrid learning is a system in which students go to school 1 week and the next they are online. And then it flip-flops vice versa. Now, obviously, this has brought some changes for students and some problems. So let's see what they have to say about it. What has been the biggest struggle for you in learning virtual?
I think the biggest struggle has just been like focusing and keeping myself accountable to my assignments.
What about Canvas stands out to you? Like, what features?
I think what stands out to me is the class discussions and being able to, like, even when we are virtual, communicate with each other and like work with each other on assignments and like as groups.
Yeah, and do you see any benefits to hybrid schooling, like being on 1 week and off the other?
I think benefits of hybrid schooling is like keeping ourselves accountable of what we're doing and like just like focusing kind of like what like work would be like and stuff. So.
All right, Aaron, what has been the biggest struggle for you in learning virtual?
For me, the biggest struggle learning virtually has been just maneuvering Canvas, in all honesty. It's just a totally new thing, so I have to adapt.
Now, so about Canvas, what do you think about it? What features stand out to you?
For me, big change happened when I went from card view on the dashboard to list view. Card view doesn't really help very much, and list view is literally just a to-do list. So it's nice and compact, everything's right there.
I would agree with that. How have you adapted to hybrid schooling, being like off 1 week and then on the other?
I like to have I like the free time. I schedule most of my things that I'm actually doing on weeks when we're at home, so I can like be flexible and just do stuff whenever I want.
And do you see any benefits to hybrid schooling? If so, why?
I mean, other than getting to like sleep in, I like that we can do our schoolwork whenever we want. We can schedule to do other things like just chores around the house whenever we want, or like going and hanging out with friends.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Aaron. Not only are students affected by the virus and the implementation of hybrid learning, so are teachers. Teachers have been faced with a multitude of problems in which they've been forced to adapt to and overcome. So let's hear what they have to say about it. In what ways has hybrid virtual learning forced you to change the way you approach instruction?
I think one of the biggest ways that it has forced me to change is by being very, very intentional about what I have my students do, and also being very, very specific in like what I put on Canvas, so that I can help those students be as successful as they can.
How have you been utilizing Canvas to instruct students virtually?
I use a lot of videos instead of lecture. I've also been trying to just make sure that everything is up to par for being done in a virtual format, and then also like just making sure that students have like links to my notes or links to my Quizlets, or just being able to even redo assignments after they're due, so that, or after they've been graded, I should say, so that they can grow in their learning rather than just be stuck with a grade, because there's a lot of things that are happening right now that just make learning difficult.
Yeah. And what, if anything, do you find beneficial about having a hybrid schooling, 1 week on, 1 week off?
I love the fact that class sizes are a little bit smaller, because that means that I can work more with individual students, especially when I have them conference with me on Mondays when I come back, and that way I can actually get to every student within a day or two of everybody being back.
Yeah. How have you been utilizing Canvas to instruct students virtually?
Okay, thank you so much for asking. I've been using Canvas to kind of organize work so that if a student is gone, they can still see what we did in class. It's also nice because students online can see what they should be working on. And so it's been really nice. Honestly, even though there's been a learning curve, it's been good to have different ways to communicate with students and just a new platform that we can use to make sure kids know what they should be working on.
Is there anything you like or dislike about Canvas?
Overall, I do like Canvas. I actually used it for my master's degree, and so I'm familiar with it, but I had only used it as a student. So something that was kind of a challenge was just learning how to set up all of my modules, and there was a bit of a learning curve. I think I've gotten much better, but I did make quite a few mistakes at the beginning of the year especially.
Yeah. And what, if anything, do you find beneficial about having hybrid schooling?
I think on a personal level, I think that it's been good for me to at least rethink some of my teaching practices and to learn how to use technology in a way that I hadn't before. So I'm trying to look at it as a way to challenge myself to learn new things. It's a challenge because I miss seeing everyone every day, but I'm just choosing to look at it in a way where maybe it'll help us all get better at utilizing technology. But I do miss seeing everyone. That's the part that's kind of sad.
Yeah. Indeed, not being able to see students and communicate with them face to face is a problem that many teachers face, and it's very frustrating and really not ideal for a school setting. But despite these adversities, it seems like teachers and students have been able to not only overcome them, but become better learners and better instructors. Anyways, I'm Nate with THS Media, signing off.